What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. First and foremost, I hope everyone had a great weekend. We are back here on NBA 2K25 here in the modern era for another rebuild. We have the NBA literally starting this week. Finally, it's an amazing time right now. And today we got the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, the Spurs are going to be a very exciting team this offseason, or this coming season, not offseason. Not the offseason anymore. They signed Chris Paul in the offseason. They have Victor Wembanyama, as we all know, drafted Stephon Castle. Let's go ahead, jump in, and rebuild the San Antonio Spurs in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. But let's take a look, as I mentioned, at the Spurs roster. So Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul should be a ton of fun. Chris Paul should be able to develop Wembanyama even more to where he is now. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan. There's a lot to like on this roster, a lot of young players to like on this team. Stephon Castle, of course, is going to be, also have Chris Paul as a mentor, which is also going to be really amazing. So, really love the Chris Paul addition for the Spurs. Obviously, not a long-term answer. Maybe only will be here for 1 year, but definitely great nonetheless. So, here's what 2K has as the lineup right now. It says Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Victor Wembanyama, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Harrison Barnes, Branham, and then Sandro. So, yeah, to me, clearly a joke. We got to get Stephon Castle minutes this rookie season. That doesn't make any sense to me for him not to play at all. So let's see if I rebuild this rotation, if it would put him in somehow. So does he make it in there? He still doesn't. So yeah, we're definitely going to play him this year. There's no reason not to. So I will throw him over Barnes if needed. Like, maybe Barnes deserves some minutes because he's still kind of there. Is there anyone else that makes sense to just kind of bench? Not really. So I guess we're going to bench Sandro out of all these guys. So we'll bench Sandro. And Castle will get in there. Maybe we'll give more minutes than Barnes, though. I want Castle to play this year. I want him to develop, obviously. So we'll do something like that. That way, Castle is getting 20 minutes a game. So I would even prefer to start him if we didn't have Devin Vassell. I would definitely consider it. Maybe at the deadline, we trade Keldon Johnson and we, put Vassell at the 3 and then have, we could do that right now, in theory. We could move Devin Vassell to the 3 and start Stephon Castle. I don't mind that. So let's actually do that. So we want Stephon Castle to develop as soon as possible. So we'll do that. So we'll move. There we go. So I like that a little bit more. Chris Paul, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Sohan, Wembanyama, Keldon off the bench, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Harrison Barnes, and Malachi Branham. I can rock with that. So let's simulate season number 1 now. Probably won't do anything at the deadline. I'm just going to simply be patient with this first season and see how this team does. Chris Paul does, usually retire after his first season. So kind of expecting that to happen. Let's just kind of see how the season transpires. Today's video is brought to you by 2 softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting our daily grind fantasies optimizer. So if you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is insanely awesome to have to finding good bets right in front of you. So as you can see, there's some NBA value popping up because the NBA starts on Tuesday. It's exciting times right now. So take a look. We got Trey Young under 10.5 assists, heavily favored by every single book at the moment. They don't think Trey Young is getting over 10.5 assists. You got Pinnacle at -139, FanDuel at -128, and DraftKings at -130. Those are 3 books I really reference off of a lot. You got Anthony Edwards under 30.5 PRA. You got some books listing us at 37.5. Exciting times right now. I also love Ajam's positive EV tool. We also have a under on Kevin Durant. So a lot of unders so far, but unders do hit. I know they're not sexy, but they do hit. So yeah, this is clear value right here because as you can see on the under of Kevin Durant's PRA, you have BetMGM is the only book offering plus money on that. You got Flip at -125, Pinnacle at -120, ESPN Bet at -120, and Caesars at -121. So clearly an outlier here on BetMGM, which is why we'd absolutely love taking that over on BetMGM. So if you want to check out either of these tools, especially for all these for basketball starting up, it's a great time to sign up. Make sure to check them out. Links are down in the description below. You get a percentage off your first month when you use code Crushables. Other than that, let's get back to the video. End of year 1, Luka Doncic wins MVP. We do get Wembanyama winning not rookie of the year, sorry, defensive player of the year, which is obviously not surprising whatsoever. Wembanyama right now on sportsbooks, which is just so insane. A season award. Wembanyama is listed at -155 to win defensive player. Just absolutely insanity. But obviously it makes sense because he's just so damn good defensively. But I can't wait to see how we did. So this season, we are not a play-in team, unfortunately. So looks like we finished up as, let's see what seed we finished up. So we finished up as the 12 seed, 36 and 46. So yeah, we'll be in the lottery again. So we get to add another young player to this team, which is exciting. But yeah, 22.5 from Wembanyama, 14 from Vassell, 12 from Keldon Johnson, 12 from Zach Collins. 11 from Sohan, and then 9 from Stephon Castle. So nothing too crazy. But let's just go ahead and see who goes on to win the championship. I think it's pretty easy to say that there's a good chance we'll be in the playoffs as soon as next year. It just kind of depends on what we can accomplish this offseason. So let's get straight to that. So the Timberwolves beat the Celtics in 6. So yeah, Chris Paul's calling it a career, which I'm fine with. LeBron James has done as well. Kyle Lowry. So yeah, a lot of important retirements here. But let's get to the lottery. It's always going to be the most important step when it comes to these teams that find themselves in the lottery. So we're projected number 2 and 10 now. That Hornets pick is protected, so we probably won't get it. But number 10, you know, that'd be awesome. We found a way to get into the top 4 here. We don't. So we're going to stay at 10, which is fine. We also get Chicago's pick at 16. Looks like they made the playoffs, so we get to keep that pick. So 10 and 16 is what we'll be drafting with. So let's go figure out who we can go get with those 2 picks. Popovich is still here. I do believe he signed an extension, so one thing I'm going to do is make sure his contract is a little bit longer. That way he's here to stay. So that will be good. And now we go to draft night, and we can draft whoever we can get at 10 and 16. I don't think there's anybody I'm trying to trade away. 10. Oh, we have 18 as well from the Hawks. I didn't really see that part. So we have 3 first-round picks. I do think Keldon Johnson being traded away this offseason is definitely something I would look into. You know, I don't know if there's like a team that would like do a swap with me as far as maybe moving up in the draft a little bit. So is there any team that makes sense for Keldon Johnson? Toronto kind of makes a little bit of sense to me. I feel like Toronto would like a guy like Keldon Johnson just because they've been going after these guys who are like at that 25-year-old spot. It feels like that's a timeline they're on. So, you know, it's only 2 spots, but just to kind of get rid of Keldon, I definitely don't mind that. So let's see if we gave them 10 and Keldon. Or maybe we could do this. Maybe we give them 16 and Keldon for number 8. I don't know if they would do this, but I'm gonna look into it. So let's see what they would, if they would consider this. So 8. Now they would need, okay, so they would have to match his salaries. What if they gave us Olynyk? So Olynyk. So Keldon for 16, and then honestly, I wouldn't even mind throwing in 18 as well. 2 firsts to move up to 8. I don't hate this. Let's see what they do. And they agree. So just like that, we are going to move up to 8, and now we have 8 and 10. So we get to add 2 lottery picks, which is nice. We move on from 16 to 18. We also dealt Keldon Johnson's contract. Olynyk isn't expiring, but I don't mind him for a year, so I'm fine with that. All right. So I like that first initial trade. Number 1 is going to be Cooper Flagg, of course. Dylan Harper to the Jazz. Number 3 is Ace Bailey. Number 4 is going to be Igor. Number 5, you got the center going. You got Carter Bryant, and then you got Nolan Traore, who I was going to draft, but unfortunately he went. Okay, so Hugo Gonzalez, VJ Edgecombe are clearly the guys we should take. If we could walk away with both of them, I would feel so blessed. I don't know if we'll be able to get that lucky. But I think for this scenario, I will take Hugo Gonzalez, but I'm really hoping VJ Edgecombe also falls to me at 9 or 10, and he does. So we're going to take both of them. So we're going to get VJ Edgecombe and Hugo. So that worked out fantastic. Absolutely love how that draft worked out for us. We get JT Toppin in round 2, and I'll let my assistant GM take the other pick. So yeah, that is awesome. Let's get Hugo and VJ Edgecombe, 2 guys that can start for us right away, which is nice. So I love that. But they probably won't start right away because we have Vassell, of course, starting too. But we'll move Stephon Castle probably to point guard because that's what he wants to play anyway, as we all know. And then we'll accept Blake Wesley. But man, that's fantastic. I love the start of this video already. All right, so on draft night, or sorry, on free agency, we don't have anybody. So Trey Jones is a free agent. Do we want to bring him back is the question. If we move Stephon Castle to point guard, which we will, it'll be Stephon Castle playing point guard. We have Malachi Branham here as well. And we'll probably move one of these guys to small forward. One of them is going to move to small forward. Vassell is going to stay at the 3, I guess, at this point. Or we can move him back to shooting guard. We'll figure it out. And then so on's our 4 still. And then Wemby, Olynyk, and Zach Collins. So I think we'll move Zach Collins or Olynyk to playing the power forward because both of them can shoot a little bit. So we'll do something like that. So Olynyk or Zach Collins, it really doesn't matter. We'll do something along the lines of that, but we're figuring it out. So I do want to trade Harrison Barnes this offseason as well because I don't really want him playing next year. Although he might regress enough that he's just out of the rotation himself anyway. So do we want to move Hugo or VJ Edgecombe there? We can move Hugo there because he's taller by an inch. And we can move Vassell back to shooting guard too because, you know, he's 6'5". So we'll do something like that. Edgecombe and then Vassell will share that shooting guard spot. Malachi Branham is there as well. And then we'll have... Actually, we'll move VJ Edgecombe there too. So we'll have both of them play small forward, I guess. We'll run something like that. And we'll just kind of see what that, you know, happens there. So, all right. We'll move Stephon Castle to point guard too. which I can do at this point right now. So he might go down. He goes down 1. That's fine. So moves Stephon Castle to point guard because that's the position he wants to play, as I mentioned. And that's probably going to be kind of what our rotation looks like next year. So Stephon Castle, Wesley, Vassell Branham, VJ Edgecombe, or Hugo, not Harrison Barnes. And then you got Sohan, Olenek, Wembanyama, Zach Collins. To me, that looks good. We could resign Trey Jones as well, but I'm almost fine with letting him go if we wanted to, like 6-2. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I'm fine with letting Blake Wesley develop. I mean, how many years do we have to until we have to pay him? Let's see. So he is, let's see, does he have another year on his rookie contract? He does not, but that's fine. We'll do it. Let's go to player progression and let's see how much these guys go up in overall. So you got Wembanyama up to a 95. Vassell doesn't move, of course. Solon is up, which is cool. Collins, Malachi Branham is up. Damn, I didn't expect that guy to move up that much, but he did. Stephon Castle, VJ Edgecombe, Lennox regress, and then Barnes, I assume. Yeah, Barnes went down like crazy, so he won't play at all this year. And Blake Wesley is developing too in the background, which is nice. So yeah, I like that a lot. And we'll get into this next season. Excited about a lot of things. Now, I will say, potentially, I don't usually ever do this because I love Vassell as a player, but since we have Edgecombe and Hugo, who I know can develop really nicely, we could potentially, trade VJ Edgecombe, we could trade Vassell and Sohan to get like a massive upgrade at the power forward spot. I'm not saying I'm going to, but it might be something we look into just because we do have the versatility to do that, in my opinion. We might look into the idea of that at the deadline. But if you look at the rotation for this season, we could be a 3.5 defense still. So they still want to start Barnes, which I obviously have no need to do that. I'm not starting Harrison Barnes this year. He's not going to play at all. So Castle, Vassell, Barnes, Sohan, Wembanyama, Branham, Zach Collins, VJ Edgecombe, Hugo, and Olenek. So I do want to give Blake Wesley minutes. So Barnes, like I said, is not going to play at all. So we could just simply move him out for Hugo or something like that, and we could give him minutes, like no minutes at all, because I do not want him playing at all. So we'll put Blake Wesley in there, and we'll do something like that. So Hugo will get minutes here, something like this, and then we'll have Edgecombe still getting a lot of minutes, and Blake Wesley can get like 12 here. So that's what we'll roll with. We'll go ahead and submit season number 2, expecting, to make a little bit of strides here, and hopefully at the deadline, we can maybe make a big move if we feel inclined to do so. So I think the trade we're about to make at the deadline is highly unlikely to happen in real life, but I'm going to try to make it happen because the Cavs are rebuilding. So I want to upgrade my power forward spot. And, there was some rumors before the season, or sorry, not rumors, but apparently when Evan Mobley was first drafted, he didn't want to go to Cleveland, according to Shams, if you guys remember that report. But if we could have a front court of Evan Mobley and Victor Wembanyama, that would be pretty insane. So that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And they're rebuilding right now. Their status is rebuilding. So I'm going to see if I get Evan Mobley here at the deadline. I don't think it's going to be impossible for us because we just have so many assets. We should be able to pull this off. But like I said, would Evan Mobley really be available? Probably not. In theory, he probably wouldn't be available. But, for whatever reason, he requested a trade or something weird like that. We could be all over it. So like I said, we could offer Vassell and Jeremy Sohan to pull this off. That's, a really good starting package for Mobley. We have this Hornets pick that's probably valuable. So let's see what they'd say to this. So we get Vassell, Sohan, a first-round pick. We get Evan Mobley on this team, locked up with Wembanyama for 5 years. What would they say to this? And they agree. Just like that. It didn't even take much. But I feel like we had the versatility to do it because that gives VJ Edgecombe and Hugo the key to starting. In my opinion, both these guys can do it. So that's why we're fine with that. I hate moving on for Vassell, but it's something I don't usually ever do. So they actually want to start Malachi Branham, who's been really good, it looks like, 35% from 3. But I do want to start VJ Edgecombe because I want him to be the guy. And this lineup doesn't look great this year, but next year when Stephon Castle, Edgecombe, and Hugo all develop, it's going to be insane. So that's why I'm very excited about this lineup. And Kelly Olynyk and Zach Collins' contract will both be gone, so that's going to give us even more money to sign players. And Barnes' contract will be gone, so that's going to give us even more money in free agency to upgrade our bench. So I think this lineup next year is going to be insanely scary. Now, the one thing I would say that we should probably change is the defensive proficiency because VJ Edgecombe and Hugo don't fit it at all. So that might be something I would consider going forward. So maybe we just go to a balance system. That's what we'll do for the rest of the season. We're really good right now, so technically there was no need for me to make that big of a trade, but I kind of wanted to do it because it sets ourselves up so damn good, and hopefully we can just continue to be very good. Although we're relying on 2 rookies, but with Wembanyama and Mobley in the front court, I mean, defensively, we should just be absolutely disgusting. Luka wins MVP, and of course we can scroll over to Defensive Player of the Year, and it is going to be Wembanyama again. No surprise there. So All NBA first team, we go Wemby making it there, which is nice. And we still are a playoff team. Wembanyama makes All Defensive first team. No surprise. So and then we did have Hugo and Edgecombe make all rookie teams, which is great. But we are the third seed in the Western Conference. Take a look at the player stats. So you had 24 from Victor Wembanyama, 15 from Mobley, 13 from Malachi Branham, 13 from VJ Edgecombe, 12 from Hugo, 10.5 from Zach Collins, 10 from Stephon Castle, and 6 from Kelly Olynyk, 4 from Blake Wesley, and then 3 from Julian Champagnie. So I'm going to shrink this down to a 9-man rotation for the playoffs, or shrink bench utilization down a little bit as well. But that will put, okay, so starting 5 will stay the same, which is nice. Branham, Zach Collins, Olynyk, Blake Wesley, all off our bench. And we'll find out if we could beat the Blazers in round 1. So Portland, they have Lonzo, Shaedon Sharpe. Wow, the fact that they got Lonzo is pretty interesting. Scoot, Simons, Jeremy Grant, and Igor. So a lot of guards that they got going on. Portland loves their guards, as we know. But we are going to beat them in 7. So it was a tough series, but now we don't have to deal with Minnesota. Instead, we get the 7th-seeded Sacramento Kings. We have Fox, Monk, DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Sabonis. So things kind of look relatively the same over in Sacramento. So hopefully we can beat them. We beat them in 6. But now we get the ultimate test. Luka Doncic, of course, who's won MVP back-to-back seasons. So we'll see if we could beat them to move on to the finals. And we're down 4-1 we lose. But like I said, man, we are not even close to done. Mavericks go on and win it all. We're about to be so developed. It's not even funny. And we could upgrade this bench. It's going to be pretty insane. So we are projected. What pick? We're projected Atlanta's pick as well. Charlotte's pick from Cleveland. Let's see where that's. So that's an 8, which honestly, I think that pick has protections anyway. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. So it stays at number 9. I think it might be top 8 protected. So Cleveland might have lucked out in keeping that pick. And then Atlanta's pick, let's see. They got 13. So it looks like maybe it was protected this year. Or I don't know if that's actually the case. Yeah, I don't. And we have 28. I guess I'll just leave it alone. Although that might have been supposed to be a pick swap. And it just didn't swap at all. Which is, I think that's definitely a possibility. So I might look into that because it just said we had their pick. So I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a pick swap in 2026. So I'm probably going to get that pick back from the Hawks. So let's go do that because we're definitely supposed to have that pick because, Hawks. And let's see. Do we have their pick next year as well? Let's see if we got it next year. So I'm pretty sure we do. Future draft picks. And we have the Hawks pick next year. So yeah, that would complete the trade, I think. Next year's pick is the last final one, I believe. So I'm pretty sure we're supposed to have their pick a pick swap. So we're going to swap those picks really quickly. Let's jump in and see if we get a bench player off the bench in this upcoming draft right here. So we got Nate, who I don't know much about, but all NBA. We got Braden Burries. Okay. We got Chris. We got Jaden. Who do I want to draft here? We got Bryson or Caden Boozer down here as well. Okay. I think I'm going to take Nate here out of Virginia, and we'll call it a pick. I don't know if he was the right guy. So he was a 76 overall. So really couldn't have gone wrong, and that might be a guy that can play right away. Jaden wouldn't have been bad either, but I don't mind what we just drafted. So Mac Wembanyama, is that actually a player? Is that his brother or something? We got to sign him just simply because of his name. I don't know if that's actually a guy, a real person, and I don't know if he's related to Wemby, but if he is, that's pretty ironic. So we'll grab him, and then we won't worry about Joe Smith. We're going to just, kind of keep our money as tight as possible. JT Toppin, Julian Champagnie. I'm going to decline Champagnie's team option just because I don't think he'll play this year for us. And we're going to focus our money on whatever's in free agency for bench pieces. So Branham and Wesley are free agents, so that's going to be a little bit of money going towards them. Let's see what they're asking for. So 2 and 11, or sorry, 2 and 19. So that's Barnes, damn it. Okay, and Wesley. All right. So I don't know how much we have exactly in free agency, but it should be a decent amount. So yeah, we have a lot of cap space to upgrade our bench. But our starting 5 is exactly where I want it to be. I want it to be VJ Edgecombe. I want it to be Hugo. I want it to be Evan Mobley. And we got Nate now. And then we need a legitimate backup 5 in my opinion. So let's start with that. So we're not going to sign Chet Holmgren, which would be pretty legit, but we won't do that. We got Naz Reid. We got John Collins, Mitch Robinson, Daniel Gafford sounds pretty amazing to me. Or even Hardenstein. You really can't go wrong with either of them. So give me Daniel Gafford off the bench for this team. I would absolutely love that. So I'm going to sign Daniel Gafford to an offer. I am going to re-sign both Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley, though. I really want them to be part of what we're doing here. So let's secure all 3 of these guys and see how much money we have left after that. So that will be the start of our bench, which is nice. Like that a lot. And we have a little bit of money to spend on one more good player. Okay. So Blake Wesley, Branham, and then VJ Edgecombe. So that looks good. Hugo. So the one thing I guess we could need is a forward. So let's see what forwards we want. We could get a small forward, and we got Matisse Thybulle. We got Zaire Williams down there. We got Aaron Wiggins. Oh, yeah. Aaron Wiggins, to me, is the most obvious option. Or we can go Ashai Abaji as well. But give me Aaron Wiggins off the bench. I like that a lot. We can play him at small forward. He'll go up exactly where we want him to be. And that will be our bench. So we'll move on from Zach Collins as well. And we go to player progression. And I cannot wait to see what this looks like. So we're going to have Wembanyama up to a 90. 97. Mobley's a 90. Stephon Castle's an 85. You got VJ up to an 84. You got Hugo up to an 82. You got Branham up. You got Gafford going down, which is a little disappointing, but Toppin is up, which is cool. And then Nate is up, and then, or not up, sorry, he's still the same. And Blake Wesley up to a 77. And then what we could do, like I said, with Aaron Wiggins is move him to small forward. It goes up to an 80 as well. So this should, in theory, give us a championship roster, in my opinion, going into the next season. So I cannot wait to see if that will translate to a championship. We got to the conference finals last year. We should only be better this year. And we keep going. We're only going to get better and better. So, like, we got the timeline and we got the patience to eventually get Wembanyama a championship. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get in this next season. So let's go ahead and just simulate next season and see how we finish out. Parrington Lens is second overall, 4-star balance. Could be 4.5 anywhere. No, not yet. But eventually, I'm sure that could, maybe even go up to a 5-star proficiency. But it's Stephon Castle, VJ Edgecombe, Hugo, Mobley, Wembanyama, Malachi Branham, Gafford, Aaron Wiggins, and Blake Wesley. That looks good to me. Let's simulate the season, and let's see how we do. So at the end of this third season, Wembanyama is your MVP, 28 and 12, which we love to see. AJ's Rookie of the Year, Anthony's Sixth Man. You got Wemby, also a defensive player. Liam, Most Improved, and Cameron Thomas, your Clutch Player of the Year. And Coach of the Year goes to Greg Popovich, and Executive goes to Garrett Barber. So really solid stuff. Wembanyama, All-NBA first team. Here's All-NBA second and All-NBA third. Wemby makes it there. And here's all offensive second team. We get Mobley making it too. So that's nice. 17 and 10 from him, which is lovely. Okay. They're the first team in the West. No surprise there. We kind of knew this team was going to be damn good. Yeah, 27 from Wemby, 17 from Evan Mobley, 16 from VJ Edgecombe, 15 from Hugo, 13 from Branham, and 13 from Stephon Castle. So all around, really solid stuff. Clearly I'm expecting to get really close to championship, but we do run into a very good team in round one, which is the Houston Rockets. They have a lot of young talent as well. You got your work cut out for us here. So let's see if we can beat Houston. And the fact that we just swept that team gives me a lot of confidence that we might be unstoppable. But we get Minnesota, which is another team you can never really know with. They're, got Anthony Edwards, but let's see what happens. And we're going to be in an even series with them. So let's go game 5 and see if we can win this game 5. I'm feeling pretty confident here, but Minnesota does the lead right now, and we might lose this game. So we're going to drop to 3-2. We got really close to coming back, but now we got to, buckle in and hopefully force a game 7. I would love to see us go to a game 7. Would not want to roll over and die here to Minnesota in game 6. We have the lead right now, and it's looking good at the moment, but they are really close to closing this. Ooh, okay. We close them out here, though. Looking all right. Oh, boy. Okay, we are going to win. 119-115. We are going to a game 7, and we'll see if we can close them out here. So game 7 in San Antonio. They did just beat us in Minnesota or in San Antonio, and now they're blowing us out here. So it looks like we did not come to show, unfortunately, and we're going to lose. So 115, 118, and 102. But like I said, man, a lot to be excited about still going forward. We're only about to get better this offseason. Minnesota lost to the Thunder, so would have loved to have seen us play the Oklahoma City Thunder to see how we match up. But unfortunately, didn't get that going for us. So we are going to have, we have 25 and 29 in this draft. So I don't think there will be a whole lot of change this offseason. I was pretty set in stone with what we had going on. So let's go to Ricky signing and see what the assistant GM takes for us here. So we got Keon Anthony, Jalen Montgomery, and we'll sign both of them, 2 first-round picks. And then I'll accept Wembanyama, and then qualifying offers, Wemby and Booker and Toppin are all free agents. So obviously, main important thing is we re-sign Victor Wembanyama. No brainer there. He's the franchise, so we'll sign him, and he'll be back, which is nice. Okay, so that's done. And then we can let the other guys come back in the qualifying offer. But everybody else, I think, should only get better. So those guys can come back in the qualifying offer. They weren't really playing much anyway last year, but that could change this year. So you got VJ Edge come to an 89, Stephon Castle 88, Hugo 84, 84 Branham, 81 Nate, and then 81 Gafford, 79 JT Toppin. So yeah, a lot to like here. This team only got better, which is not surprising. So this next year, I'm calling it. I'm calling our shot. We're going to win a championship this next season. So this year, Wemby doesn't get MVP, but we do arrive once again as the first seed at 67-15 this time around. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, All-NBA third, All Defensive first team, and All Defensive second team. So for the first team in the West, once again, Minnesota is nowhere to be found. Actually, they're here. So hopefully they end up, well, hopefully don't end up matching up against them in round one because they did beat us last year. But I guess I should welcome the competition as well. And it will be the Clippers instead. So the Clippers have Tyus Jones, Macbo, Caleb Gaskins, Kawhi. They do have Jokic, though. So Jokic versus Wemby should be interesting. But hopefully we don't lose in round one to the Clippers. That'd be pretty doomsday scenario. So we are going to sweep them. So good start. Now we get Utah, who have Fox, Harper, Markkanen, Hendricks, Kessler, Keontae George, Clint Capella, and Cody Williams. So let's see if we can beat them. We're up 3-1, and we will hopefully close them out in 6 games. So let's see if we can avoid a Game 7, because a Game 7 is not something I want to see right now. I want to get back to the conference finals. We lost in round 2 last year to the Timberwolves, and we will close them out in Game 7. So that's great. And now we get either Golden State or Dallas. Let's see who we want. It will be the Warriors. So no Luka Doncic to deal with. Instead, we'll deal with Mikey Williams, J-Dub, Tyron Stokes, Mark Williams, Kuminga, Christie. Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, man, I feel like we should beat this team. You never know. And we're up 2-1. Sometimes, man, sometimes these teams just click. I don't know what's going on with this Warriors squad, but I don't feel like we have any business losing to this team. If we find a way to lose this Warriors team in the conference finals, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I'll say that. And it looks like we're going to blow them out in Game 5, which is good. But now we got to win Game 6 to finally get to the NBA Finals in this video. Can we do it? Is the question. Game 6 in Golden State, in San Francisco. We come out here and win this game. We're down 1 right now with all right, so we take the lead. Can we close them out? It's going to be a close competitive series. It's 105-107. You have a 1 point. All right, there we go. It's tied. It's 109-110. A minute 35 left on the clock. All right, let's see what's going on here. So we have the ball, I think. Yes, we do. All right. We have Wemby on the floor. That's all I really need. So give me a screen. Well, I mean, we got Mobley too. Give me why do we have all these? Okay. We have so many bigs on the floor right now. Let me just give it to Wemby and let him cook, man. I mean, this guy should be unguardable, right? Kuminga should not be able to do anything against me, I assume. All right, there we go. 111-110. And we should really get I don't really like this. I don't really like Gafford, Wembanyama, and Mobley on the floor together. It's a little weird. I'm not going to lie. But 2K likes their size. Okay. Kuminga is going to... Ooh, that's a turnover. We'll take that. I'm going to give it to Stephon Castle in transition. Can we just take this one to the basket? And no, we cannot. I should have slowed it down. That's my bad. All right. I was really hoping for a transition layup there. They're going to have Kuminga open, and he's going to miss it. All right. Let's slow this bad boy down. That was... almost really bad. All right, let's give it to Wemby. Give me a screen with Wemby. Like, I assume no one, but give me a screen and roll with Wembanyama and Mobley. And Mobley is going to get open, and he is going to splash that 113-110. There we go. All right. The big lineup is working right now, it looks like. I mean, we're going to grab every rebound. We should at least, with Gafford on the floor too. All right, so they're going to go to Kuminga down low. Mobley, I'm here with Mobley. And I'm there. That's not going in. Boom, we're good. And they're going to foul Wembanyama. It's 113-110. So we should close them out here and get to the NBA Finals. W. And that is a very fast release. And that's going to go in 114-110. Should make this a 5-point game as long as I can hit this free throw. We excellent that one. Boom. 115-110. All right. I like this because we can get our actual lineup on the floor. So let's do that. So let's get our starters on the floor. So let's do that. And boom. We'll have our starters out here. And we should have guys exactly where I want them to be. All right. See what they're going to try to do with 22 seconds left. Going to give it to J-Dub. J-Dub is going to try to take... Ooh, I was coming over to block that boy. Mobley and Wembanyama. Imagine trying to score on Mobley and Wembanyama down low. That's insane, bro. But they're going to hit their first free throw. And now they're going to try to hit their second one. And he is going to make it. So they're going to foul again, of course. I want to just go back to Wemby because I really feel like I got his free throw down. And that's Mark Williams, fouling me. So I just got to hit one of these to make it. So, boom. First free throw is down. 116-112. All right, let's hit the second one. And that's going to go into. Boom. 117-112. No timeouts left for them. All right, all we got to do is close this out. No more baskets, and we should win the game. So we might even double team J-Dub. They're going to shoot a 3 because they needed it. Oh, they hit that. All right. All right. Okay. All right. I see you. Let's get this to Wemby. They're going to foul again. All right. Let's play the foul game again. See if we can hit these free throws once again. First one's going to be good. And then that makes it a 3-point game. Let's just make this 4-point game again. And that's late, but it goes in. Okay. 119, 115. 4-point game. All right. Let's make them work for getting up court. Gonna go to Mark Williams. That's not going in. There's no way. We're gonna secure the board. That's game. And we'll shoot that up. That way the Warriors can't foul me. And we're going to the NBA Finals. We're gonna draw either Detroit or Toronto. It is gonna be Toronto. So Scotty Barnes and the Raptors are representing the Eastern Conference here. So you got Liam, Grady Dick, Scotty Barnes, Chris Nack, Dink Pate. You got Julian Strawther, Ben Simmons, and Grant Williams. All right. Let's see if we can win this one. So game 1 goes to us. We blow them out. Game 2 goes to us. We blow them out again. Game 3, and that's all she wrote. We win the championship. And Victor Wembanyama is your Finals MVP. So that is how the video will end. We bring home a championship. Really love the team we put together around Wemby. And excited that it ended in a ring. So hope you guys enjoy the video. I will see y'all in the next one. Basketball is back on Tuesday. It's exciting times. Thank y'all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.